ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्बोधभूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ वर्स् नंबर 10 प्रत्यक्षास्यनुमानस्य तथा शास्त्रस्य गोचरे उक्तन्यायेन संवादि भ्रमा सन्ति हि कोटिशः. So in the first 12 verses of this 9th chapter, so Vidyaranya differentiates two types of errors, Brahma, two types of adhyasa, we can say, Samvadi, Visambadi. The error which you commit accidentally proves to be beneficial. The errors which you commit will lead to catastrophe. Yeah. So Sambadi, Visambadi. Curse, you can say. Catastrophe, Swamiji, it is too big word. Okay. Error leads to curse. So, like Sarpa Adhyasa on a snake, or even a silver, seeing silver on the shell leads to frustration. You run and pick up that shell which is really shining in the sunshine. It is shining, white, glazing like, oh, you feel it is a silver coin, and you pick up, and definitely you feel disgusted that way. So error leads to this kind of a thing which is Visambadi Brahma. Error accidentally leads to, some kind of a blessing. So normally, generally, this Brahma will have negative consequences. That is how we have learnt Rajju Sarpa, Shukti Rajat, etc. Or even mirage water, etc. So all basically it's all Visambadi Brahma, leads to negative consequence. And in Vedanta, we have learned these negative consequences on one Brahman. Adhyaropa of a Jiva, Adhyaropa of a Jagat, Adhyaropa of a Ishvara also. He is a Visambadi Brahma. Yeah. So all this basically leads to Visambadi. It's a Visambadi Brahma. Adhyasa leads to samsara, dvaitam, etc. That's how. But Swamiji, looking upon Ishvara and Jiva as to, that's adhyasa on one Brahman. In that, what is negative consequence? In fact, if you are a Astika, Ishvara is the biggest source of fear. Yeah. Biggest source of fear is Ishvara. If I'm doing this, I don't know, he will punish me. I have done this, he will punish me. This is how in Taittiriya, Vanamalakara narrates, Ishvara is the biggest bhaya hetu. Biggest. Astika will not have, suppose he is a follower of a dharma, etc., and therefore he is not worried about anything in the creation, whatever the consequence. Well, I am following dharma, and if I have to give up my life, I will give up. I am not afraid of the death, etc. But not following dharma, well, he will punish me. That will remain. Ishvara is the biggest source of fear. If Ishvara is different from you, but then Ishvara is different from me, that is adhyasa. That is adhyasa. Ishvara is not different from me, that is a subject matter of Vedanta. Anyway, so this is how, Adhyasa Bhashyam is meant for this, to establish the Adhyasa, the cause of Adhyasa, the consequence of Adhyasa, etc. All this Adhyasa Bhashyam discusses, 4 or 5 topics are there, is to prove that there is need, that there is Adhyasa, and so actually there is just one non-dual Brahman, there is nothing other than that, and therefore you are also Brahman, you are not a Jiva. And therefore, well, whatever the samsara which is created by this Dvaitam, by duality, a sense of limitation and other things, well, all this, or by taking yourself as a karta bhokta, all the samsara which is created is all mithya. So better you gain Brahma Jnana. So Bhashyakara has to establish Adhyasa, and the cause of that is how it becomes a cause of a samsara also. And then, well, so Brahma Jnanam has a scope. So then Athato Brahma Jignasa, Janmadhyasya Yatah, etc., etc. All these things are Shastra Unitvat, Tattva Samanvayat, etc. Then establish even the 4th Sutra itself. This 4th Sutra, Chatussutri itself establishes completely that the gaining Brahma Jnanam, one becomes free from samsara. So anyway, so we have always heard of, till today means till this chapter we have started, we have heard of error which brings generally some negative consequences. But Vidyaranya in this chapter now says, well, don't put all the errors or Brahma or Adhyasa under that. Some are friendly, beneficial, leads to benefit. Accidentally, because you are committing error, you don't know, but it leads to some kind of benefit. And those examples he gives where this can lead to benefit, a adhyasa or error can lead to benefit, he gives. First, he gave an example based on a pratyaksha. Right? We have seen the 2 rooms and money and all that. Then based on anumana also, well, he did an anumana of seeing he was seeing this mist, and he takes it as a smoke. And then he thought, well, smoke is there, the fire is there. I need fire. So he actually has gone. But his inference was wrong because it was a mist. Mist has no connection with the fire. Smoke has a connection. But he sees mist and takes it as a smoke. Error. And thinking that there will be fire and there is a lot of cold, and therefore I will get some warmth. So he just goes into that valley and accidentally discovers there is fire there. Some home will be there, and then there was fire and etc. So this is how it is. So even based on inference, well, it was a mistake, and still it has proved a beneficial. That also we saw. And then based on Shastra, well, also there are some examples where this error can lead to benefit, accidentally, etc. So that is, which is Samvadi Brahma, has been mentioned. And Shastra example is, well, Bhagavan basically commits error, favorable error. In case of Ajamil, Ajamil was calling his son, Narayana, Narayana. Bhagavan thought, oh, he's calling me. He's an error. And well, he sent his dutas, etc. And well, says, call him because he is calling me. So you call him here so that I can meet. So dutas went, and so they got an entry into the Vaikuntha. Kya visa mil gaya. So anyway, so this is Ajamil did not commit a mistake. Please remember, Ajamil has not committed any mistake. Bhagavan committed a mistake. Same mistake has been narrated by Adi Shankaracharya ji in Saundarya Lahiri also. There, not Bhagavan, not Bhava, but Bhavani commits a mistake. Mataji commits it. Generally, she doesn't. She's very smart. This Bhava is little difficulty. Shiva has all the time difficulty. Very hasty to show his compassion. Very hasty. But this time Bhavani has done a mistake. Parvati has done a mistake which Shankaracharya ji narrates. In which, well, there was one bhakta, it seems, in a 12th verse of Sundarari. There are 100 verses, and in the 12th verse, this is there. So Shankaracharya says, well, bhakta wants, Shankaracharya narrates in that verse, that bhakta wants Devi's glance, directed towards himself, and so he will be free. I mean, he will get, he will always get a place near her. So bhakta addresses a goddess. And he's a Dvaita Bhakta naturally. He does not have any interest in this Advaita Jnanam. Well, myself and Bhavani are one and not. He was looking upon that Bhavani is different from himself. So, but he wants her glance, glance of a mother, to basically fall upon him. So what he says, Bhavani tvam vitara drashti mayi dase. Hey Bhavani. Hey Bhavani, it's a Sambodhana. Oh mother, tvam vitara drashti mayi dase. Well, you should direct your glance on me. May your drashti fall on me so that, auspicious will happen in my life, etc. So with that, he addressed with this, thing. But Mother Goddess committed a mistake, it seems. So Mother Goddess actually, before I go into that, what she committed mistake, let me tell you, now it's a small grammar point, okay? You will have to listen me. So, Bhavani is a word. Bhava means a Lord, Bhavaya Namaha, Sharvaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha, etc., etc. There are 8 names of Lord Shiva, in that this is come. Even in Shiva Mahimna Sutra it has been mentioned. Bhavash Sharvo Rudra, Pashupati Ratograha Mahan, etc. So Bhavaha, Sharvaha, Shivaha, etc. There are 8 names. So Bhava is a Shiva and Shakti is a Bhavani. It's a Dirgha Ikaranta. So Bhavani is a word, and when you do a Sambodhana, it will be Hey Bhavani, Rasva. If you have seen, I'm talking to Urmilaji now, maybe other people also. So what happens is, like Nadi, Nadyo, Nadya, etc. Then Sambodhana is Hey Nadi, just Rasva. Hey Nadi. So same way here, Bhavani means Hey Bhavani. That is one meaning of Bhavani. Okay? Means Oh Mother. Fine. But Bhavani is, very well, the people who have learnt grammar, they know there is a Agnyartha, lot. And Bhudhatu, in a Agnyartha, in imperative mood, has this form. Bhavani, Bhavava, Bhavama, Bhava, Bhavatam, Bhavata, etc. Bhavatu, Bhavatam, Bhavantu. These are the forms. Swamiji, this is not grammar class. I know, but what can I do? You should enjoy all these things, And so, Bhavani, Bhavava, Bhavama, Bhavama means in a imperative mood, Uttama Purusha Ekvachanam is Bhavani. Aham Bhavani. Uttam Purusha. May I become. That's it. May I become. That's better. May I become. Bhudhatu means to become, to be, etc. May I be. Or may I become. So here in this verse, Bhavani tvam vitara drashtim mayi dase. Actually, this bhakta is addressing the goddess. Hey Bhavani, O Mother, tvam vitara drashtim dase, mayi dase. I am the one who is your dasa. Tvam vitara drashtim. May your glance Well, may you direct your glance towards me so that it will turn to be auspicious in my life, etc. But what she listened is, because the verse is Bhavani Tvam Vitara Drashtim Mai Dase. Bhavani listened like this. Bhavani Tvam Vitara. That she did not listen. She was so impatient. Bhavani Tvam. That's it. That much she listened. Rest Vitara Drashtim Mai Dase. She did not listen. So Bhavani Tvam means what? You, Tvam means you. Bhavani means become. Aham Bhavani means may I become. Tvam, may I become you. Right? Let me become you. Oh, she thought, this my Bhakta is the best Bhakta. Advait Bhakta. He wants to become me. Means he wants to become one with me. So then Bhavani gave a Advaita Jnanam to this Bhakta. And he gained moksha. Who did mistake? Bhavani did mistake. That Bhakta did not do any mistake. Bhakta said, Bhavani Tvam Drashtim Mai Dase. But she is so impatient. Bhavani Tvam, this much she listened. Rest she did not. By the time she already gave Brahma Jnanam, Bhavani Jnanam. And that Bhakta became free. A error committed by a Bhavani, right, turned out to be a blessing for Bhakta. There Narayana committed a mistake of listening. Narayana word heard, but who is addressed, he did not bother. So what does it indicate? He is ready. He is ready. Whether we are ready or not, but he is always ready. He is on guards, in fact. If you start walking one step, he will walk 10 steps in a haste. Really. This is how Shankaracharya ji praised Goddess, Mother. That you are always ready to give moksha. We feel he is very cruel. I do so much Shravanam and this and that, but nothing is happening to me, etc. Well, no, don't think so. Anyway, so Mother Goddess also makes a Samvadi Brahma favorable to devotee. So that has been said. Pratyakshasya anumanasya tatha shastrasya gochare. Gochare means in the field of Shastra also we find these kind of examples where the Samvadi Brahma, the error, leads to the benefit. So now verse number 11. Anyatha mrittika daru shilasyurdevata katham agnittvadidiyopasyaha katham vayoshidadayah. Very interesting chapter. This is a thing which you will say that Swamiji, this kind of thing we have never heard of, and at the same time, it is not going beyond the subject matter of the Vedanta. It is within the subject matter of the Vedanta. But a topic which has been discovered by him within the fold of this subject matter of Vedanta is amazing. So here now Vidyaranya makes a division in Samvadi Brahma. In Brahma we divided two things. Samvadi, Visamvadi. Error leads to curse or a problem, and error leads to blessing. Samvadi, Visamvadi. We know examples also. Samadhi Brahma example. Visamvadi also, many more you have heard, etc. Rajju Sarpa and all that. Now in Samvadi Brahma itself there are two divisions. A Brahma, the error, committed out of ignorance, which turns favorable accidentally. That is, we are already seen examples, Pratyaksha, Anumana and everywhere, Shastra, which we can say blessing in disguise kind of a thing. And then there is a Samvadi Brahma, the Brahma deliberately, error deliberately presented, Adhyasa superimposition deliberately presented by the Shastra, not out of ignorance, and followed that Brahma deliberately, superimposition deliberately followed by the Vedikas, which results into big benefit for that Vedika. Shastra says commit this error, and you commit. You surrender to Shastra, and well, teacher who represents Shastra says, well, commit this error. Error generally is done accidentally, but no, you commit this error, which will result into a benefit. So there is another type of Samadhi Brahma. So we can call it as a Shastra Vihita Samadhi Brahma. Shastra Vihita Brahma or Shastra Vihita Samadhi Brahma. The first is a Ajnanajanya Samadhi Brahma. Second is a Shastrajanya Samadhi Brahma, if you want to say. Shastra Vihita, Shastrajanya. What? Vedika Anushtita Brahma. Practiced by the Vedikas. So, all Upasana are such errors. In every Upasana, well, on the particular Alambanam, we invoke a particular Devata. That Alambanam is a inert thing. Asmin Haridra Bimbe Mahaganapatim Dhyayami. See, in the puja, when you do puja, well, you start with a Ganesha puja, and the very first thing is you commit a mistake. Asmin Haridra Bimbe. So, this priest will make a lump. He will take that haldi powder, turmeric powder, add little water, and make a lump. On a lump, he will put it in one plate, brass plate. And he says, Asmin Haridra Bimbe, in this Haridra Bimba, in this lump of turmeric, Mahaganapatim Dhyayami. Well, I invoke, in fact. Dhyaya means I invoke. I invoke Mahaganapati. And he calls that you come and sit in this. Means now this lamp of turmeric, inert lamp of turmeric, is looked upon as a sentient devata. And Swamiji, this is just for saying, no, not for saying. Everything he will do. He will offer even food. Who can eat? This inert lump is going to eat Naivedya? What do you think? It is going to eat all food. Naivedyam also is offered. Everything is offered. Malas are offered, this is offered, that is offered, Upanayanam is offered. Everything is offered. So it's a deliberate superimposition upon an inert thing. You look upon a sentient thing. It's an error actually. But Shastra Vihita, enjoined by the Shastra. When enjoined by the Shastra, such errors will definitely turn into a blessing. Samadhi Brahma. So, anyway, so taking, one thing is something else here also. If you remember, if somebody has studied this Adhyasa Bhashyam, one of the definition of Adhyasa Bhashyam in Adhyasa has been given as Atasmin Tad Buddhihi. Atasmin Tad Buddhihi, which is not the Devata, which is just an inert lump, which is not really a Devata, sentient Devata, is looked upon as a sentient Devata, is Adhyasa. Atasmin Tad Buddhihi. Adevatayam Devata Buddhihi, which is not a Devata, that Alambanam is not a Devata, it's a simple inert lump of turmeric, is looked upon as a Ganapati Devata. Error. But deliberately you have done. You know very well it is lump of turmeric. You know very well you yourself have only made and now you look upon it as a Devata. And then you do this, you do all the puja, etc., which will turn to be beneficial. So all upasanas. But Swamiji, what benefit? Gradual. 3 benefits. Yeah. Any meditation, such kind of meditation, error, well, leads to benefit. 3 types of benefit. First is a chitta shuddhi. First thing is your agitation in the mind in terms of your likes and dislikes, which were bothering you all the time, will calm down, because what you meditate is free from likes and dislikes. You are bringing that into your mind again and again through pasana, and therefore basically, well, your mind is taking a form of the devata, Ishvara's form, devata, which is free from likes and dislikes. And definitely, well, that helps your mind to calm down, to make the mind free relatively from likes and dislikes. First benefit. Second thing is chitta ekagrata. You also gain a focusing capacity because you are meditating on that Lord again and again and again and again. So your mind, which was moving around, you are telling your mind, yeah, oh mind, whenever you move around, leaving this object of meditation, I will call you back. That's an auto suggestion you give before you start meditation. And that turns out to be beneficial. So mind will move. It's a healthy mind, like a healthy monkey. Jumps from one tree to other tree, second, third tree. Monkey sitting at one branch for more than half an hour in a single tree. You should think there is something wrong with the monkey, not with you. Yeah, definitely. So the moving mind is a healthy mind. Not moving mind is a duller mind. Yeah. But definitely you want to focus on a thing, and therefore you take there is an object of meditation, there is a small mantra pertaining to that, and so you repeat, etc. Anyway, so this will help you. So chitta ekagrata also. And then third thing is, well, chitta vishalata. Because you know that devata is a form of Ishvara, and well, definitely it is all pervasive, etc. Of course, a given form, but that is not that much is not the Ishvara. Therefore, there is a that form ultimately is of Ishvara's form, which is all pervasive. So definitely, well, if you think like that and then meditate, then definitely your mind becomes a little more expand. My mind expands. This is called an expansion meditation. When meditation you do on Ishvara, and which you know as all accommodative, all pervasive, then it is called expansion meditation. Definitely your mind expands. As such, also a meditator slowly merges into a object of meditation, which we call samadhi. So meditator, the individual being, the limited being, resolves into this, a form of Ishvara which is all pervasive ultimately. So definitely it resolves. So anyway, so three benefits are there of doing a meditation on Devata, on Ishvara, Saguna Brahma, etc. Well, definitely Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, Chitta Vishalata. These are the three benefits. And therefore, looking upon, first you meditate, well, there is an alambana. For meditation, there is an alambanam, a particular form. Well, on that you look upon it as a devata, etc., or Ishvara's form. Look upon the Ishvara as in one form. Basically is a Brahma. Anyway, so but that form is Ishvara. If you say like that, it's an error. But definitely, well, and then you meditate. Definitely, it helps you in your uplift mind. So this is say Sambadi Brahma, deliberately committed error, prescribed. Such errors are prescribed by the Shastra, that you see one thing over another. Yeah. Yes, you see means in your mind. With the eyes you see something else. So, but in your mind, well, you see something else other than what is there. Katham Shilaha Devataha Syuhu. How come this inert stone, right? Lingam, you know, or a Shaligrama. How come this inert stone is looked upon as a sentient Devata, deity, either a Lord Shiva or a Lord Vishnu? Shaligrama, Lord Vishnu. Then that inert stone, Lingam, stone, Shiva, Shivalinga, we call Shivalinga. So, how come? They are not actually. So, here it says three things. Anyatha mrittika daru shilaha. Sometime you find the lingam on mrittika. What they do is in the Shravana Mantha itself. Yeah, in the Shravana Mantha, in the Shravana Masa, Shravana Mantha. Okay, what is this Shravana Mantha? Shravana Masa. They make every day a lingam made up of clay. They call Parthiva lingam. Every day they invoke Lord Shiva in that. They do puja and then they do visarjana. Put it in the water, in river or pond. Every day, all 30 days. At the end they do visarjanam or they do every day visarjanam. That's a different thing. But they do. Every day they make a lingam, a lump, in form of that spherical shape. They make it out of clay. They invoke Lord Shiva there. They superimpose. Invoke Lord Shiva means what? They definitely superimpose Lord Shiva upon that and do all the upacharas which a sentient being deserves. This is a inert clay. But you invoke, means it's your guest now. And all the formalities which you do to the guest which has come to your place on your invitation, now you do. All the things they do. Yeah. It's all error. So, and then you will see that sometime they make a idol, etc., of a wood in Lord Jagannatha. In Puri, everything wood. Totally wood. So, Daru Murti, Shila Murti, made up out of the stone, or Mrittika Murti, made out of clay. All are inert. How come they are all sentient beings? Then they are not. But you talk to inert stone, you talk to that Murti made up of the wood, you talk to, Murti made out of the clay. I don't talk, Swamiji. Every day, everyone does. After doing puja, always I say, do some prayer. So you say, oh Lord. You say also. So basically, you do prayer. May you listen. My prayers, etc. That also you expect. Anyway, inert thing, how it listens. So you don't look upon what am my criteria is in your understanding. Here, there is not any inertness about that thing. Anyway, so anyatha, if it was not an erroneous perception, means how if you don't take them as a sentient beings, sentient devatas, well, how then the upasana, pujas, etc. are possible? Cannot be possible. No puja, formalities, etc. are there for an inert thing. And therefore, definitely you have committed an error. You have a erroneous perception. But deliberate erroneous perception. For what? For my benefit. Sambadi Brahma. Error committed leads to blessing. So this is not born of ignorance. Born of ignorance also accidentally turns to blessing, that we have already seen. This is born of Shastra's injunction. So two types of Sambadi Brahma. Error committed due to Shastra's injunction. Error committed due to ignorance, but ultimately leads to blessing. So this is how he divides Samadhi Brahma into two in verse number 11. Yeah. Not only that, in a one verse, how many things he talks, my God. See, now in the second line, what he says. This is something else now. So, anyatha mrittika daru shilaha sihu devataha katham. Katham shila devataha sihu. How can a inert stone become a devata? Unless you have erroneous perception. Like that. And then you can add, how can a mrittika becomes a devata? Unless you have erroneous perception. Means, they are erroneous perception, Brahma, but Sambadi Brahma. One. Then in second line he says, this is also Shastra. I told you, these are few verses, 9 to 12. He is giving an example of a Sambadi Brahma based on Shastra. So that is what is going on right now. And in 12th verse he will conclude. So, Agnitvadi Dhyopasyaha Katham va Yoshidadayah. This is another thing. In a Chandogya Upanishad, in a Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in a Mundaka Upanishad, there is a description of a Panchagni Vidya. Vidya means Upasana. So, you do a meditation looking upon 5 different things as 5 fires. And the result, the result is Brahmaloka. Generally, upasanas lead for a long time. If you do this kind of an upasana, well, definitely will give you, once the prarabdha falls, the body falls, then you will get a Brahmaloka. This is a phalam given in this Upanishads, that if you do this Panchagni Vidya, if you do a upasana, if you do a error, if you commit an error, as we say, look upon one thing as another, then you will gain Brahmaloka. What a thing. Committing an error and gaining such a lofty things, Brahmaloka means what? So what is Brahmaloka and what is the difference between Svargaloka and Brahmaloka? There is one difference. In Svargaloka, there are, definitely you will enjoy because of Punyam, you will get a body also conducive to enjoy the objects, right, which are there in Svargaloka. Devata body, etc. you will get. And in Brahmaloka, which is superior than Svarga, Buhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. That Satyaloka means Brahmaloka. So in Brahmaloka, there are no external objects for you to enjoy. But there is just Ishvara in a form which you like and on which you have meditated when you were in a human birth. Brahmaloka is gained by meditation, I said also. But then which form of meditation? Swamiji, the form which I like, we call Ishta Devata. Ishta. The form of Ishvara which I like. Like let's say Lord Vishnu. This is one form, right? Chaturbhuja, etc. So you meditate on Lord Vishnu. Means Ishvara's one form which you like. And you meditate throughout the life in a human life. When you are there, you meditate upon that. So you gain Brahmaloka. But that Brahmaloka is one in which, you will see Ishvara in a form which you liked and which you meditated upon. So that Brahmaloka becomes a Vaikuntha. This is called Vaikuntha. And just because you like that form of Ishvara, means you see Ishvara in that form only which you liked, you will always remain in accompaniment with him. So you will serve him, you will talk to him, you will all the time moving around him, all the time. That itself is a joy for you. So in Brahmaloka, there are no objects, external objects to enjoy. In Brahmaloka, Ishta Devatas is there. Ishvara's given form is there which you liked. And you are seeking that form, having a darshanam of that form, seeking darshanam of that form, etc. You wanted to serve in that form. So you gain it. So your whole life, when you reach to Brahmaloka, you feel fulfillment. All the time Ishvara's that form which you liked and you wanted to have a darshanam, etc. It will be there for you. So this is how the difference between Sargaloka and Brahmaloka. Where in Svargaloka you get Ishta Vishaya. the objects which you like, divine objects naturally. Here it is all our laukika, earthly objects. That it is divine, but objects in Swargaloka. But in Brahmaloka, no objects external. But still, you will the form the form of meditation. I mean, the object of meditation, Ishvara's form, you meditated upon constantly because you like it, and you have a desire to have a darshanam, to have a to serve, to be in company with all you seek. You sought that thing, while you gain it. So that Brahmaloka becomes a Vaikuntha depending upon this bhavana, vasana of that sadhaka, of that meditator. He has that vasana. So he will see, you go to Brahmaloka and he will see Ishvaras in the form of a Vishnu. Same Brahmaloka becomes a Kailasa for the Shiva Upasana. Same Ishvara. Because of his vasanas, naturally, because he constantly meditated upon like that. So he will see Ishvara in that form only after going to Brahmaloka. This is just by the way, because we mentioned so many times about Brahmaloka and all that. So I just thought of mentioning the difference between them. Anyway, so this is here Panchagni Vidya. 3 places in a Chandogya, in a Brihadaranyaka, and in a Mundaka. That Upasana has been mentioned, where 5 things are looked upon, superimposed upon by fire. You look upon them as a fire. Hey, actually, it is a one thing, but you look upon it as a fire. Panchagni, 5 fires. What are the 5 fires? First, the description is like this. That the jiva, when it leaves this body, right, he has no gnanam. So therefore he is a jiva. He takes himself to be jiva. He remains, and then when prarabdha is over, naturally he should gain a new body depending upon his karma, etc. But this jiva is really a Vaidika jiva. Means he followed Vedic karmas and all that throughout the life. Did nitya naimitya karmas and everything in a stipulated manner, having a shraddha in the Veda, and therefore whatever the Shastra said that these are your karmas, obligatory duties, he followed Panchagni, this Pancha Mahayagnas, etc., and other things, Sandhya Vandanam and this and that. All Vedic karmas he did. Such a jiva, after the fall of this body, this is an ideal situation. He is offered, let us say, that jiva is offered, means goes to Swarga. So, this jiva goes to Swarga has been depicted like this, that jiva, this ahuti of this jiva has been done into the first fire called heaven. From there, and then, well, he will enjoy naturally because he's done all these karmas, etc. He gains Swargam. So, depending, he has a lot of punyam. And then punya kshaya. His turn now is over, remaining in being a resident of Swarga. So, then he goes from Swarga now. His karmas to remain in the Swarga is over. Now, that jiva is offered to the clouds. He has to come here. Yeah. So, not from Swarga directly, somebody kicks him and he falls down. And no, he goes to another fire. He is offered into the another fire called clouds. Second fire. From clouds, well, he comes to earth. So, as though he is offered into the third fire called Prithvi. And then definitely that annam, naturally, food. So now he is, through the food, from the Prithvi means from the annam, he is offered to the male, any male, any jiva who is male. There's a fourth one. along with the food he is offered into this male. This fourth fire, Purusha. And from there, this jiva is offered into the fifth fire called woman, female. And then he takes birth. Clear? So this is how jiva's yatra is. So he is offered in 5 fires: Swarga, with heaven, clouds, earth or food, and male, and then female. This is how the jiva gets birth in this world. So now this meditator looks upon this 5 things as 5 fires in which the jiva is offered and gets a birth. That is called Panchagni Vidya. Panchagni Vidya. That has been mentioned here. Agnitvadi dhiya upasyaha. Dhiya, with this kind of a thought, with this kind of a vritti, Agni vritti, looking upon as a Agni. These things, which are Agnitvadi dhiya upasyaha, what? Yoshidadayaha. Yoshit means a woman. Adipada, this all. Woman, man, then that earth or food, and then clouds and our heaven. So Yoshidadayaha, this woman, etc., 5 are looked upon as what? Agnitvadi dhiya. With the thought of looking upon these 5 things as 5 fires. So, upasya, they should be meditated upon. These 5 things should be meditated upon as 5 fires by a person. Then he gains Brahmaloka, etc. So, Agnitvadi dhiya upasya katham va yoshidadaya. How can a woman is called fire? How can a woman is called fire? Anyatha. Means if they are not looked upon as fires and woman is seen as a woman, where is the Panchagni Vidya? Where is the Upasana? When a given thing is looked upon as it is, then where is Upasana? Upasana means you have to commit a mistake. Commit a mistake. Committing a mistake leads to Brahmaloka. Gaining a visa of the best in the world. All 14 lokas, the best one is Brahmaloka. You gain a visa just by doing this upasana. Amazing. Sambhadi Brahma. This is how the Sambhadi Brahma works. So if they are not looked upon as Agni, they are not taken as Agni, how can upasana be done? Katham ba? Katham means how will you do upasana if you don't look upon, if you don't commit this mistake? In a right perception, woman is a woman. Anyatha means, definitely. If you don't look upon a woman as a woman, means look upon as a Agni, then only this upasana is possible. Okay, so then now in the 12th verse he wants to conclude this Sambhadi Brahma discussion. Ayatavastu vijnanat phalam labhyate ipsitam kakatali yatas soyam Sambhadi Brahma uchyate. So what is common ultimately in all Sambhadi Brahma based on a Pratyaksha or a Anumana or a Shastra examples? Well, either or it is deliberate error, or it is accidental error. This error you do out of ignorance and accidentally it turns out to be beneficial. Whatever it is, ultimately the common thing is you do a error, commit a error, superimpose, or out of ignorance you do error. Ultimately the one thing is common, that it produces a benefit. Sambhadi Brahma means it produces benefit. What benefit varies from case to case. So, ayathavasthu vijnanat, because of this erroneous perception, ipsitam phalam, the desirable result, the welcome result, deliberate result, the desirable result is produced. And how favorable result, such a favorable result comes? Well, kakataliyatah. This is tasil pratyaya. Kakataliyatah means because of kakataliya nyaya. Nyaya, that's our logic. Hetu, it's a given. Kakataliyatah, kakataliya nyayat. Tali means basically a fruit of a tadi. In Gujarati, there is a palm tree, you can say that. In Gujarat, it is available in Saurashtra. They call that tadi fruit. Yeah. Tadi phal. So, tali. So, what happens is on that palm tree has a lot of that fruits. And on that particular leaf, well, a crow sits. And as crow sits on that leaf, the fruits which are there nearby, well, some fruits or one fruit falls. So, as though we feel that definitely this crow is a cause for the fruit to fall, but actually it has no connection to that. It was to fall and it has fallen. Not that something this crow has done in order for the fruit to fall. Nothing. So anyway, so there is an apparent cause-effect relationship that has been indicated. Kakataliyatah means there is a apparent cause-effect relationship. So it appears as though there is a relationship between a fall of a fruit and the sitting of the crow. But there is no connection at all. So this particular nyaya, this particular proverb, this particular maxim is used when there is a apparent cause-effect relationship between two events. Apparent. Same way between erroneous perception and benefit, well, there is a seeming cause-effect relationship. So that is to say, all cases of Sambadi Brahma are this worked on Kakataliya Nyaya, like that. So Brahma seems to be the cause and benefit seems to be is a result. So that is a result, but that's a effect, but there is no connection to that. Kakaha means a crow. Taliya means that talaphalam, as I said, palm fruit. And kakasya upaveshanam talaphalasya patanam. Taliyasya patanam. That's called kakataliya nyaya. They don't have cause-effect relationship, seeming relationship. So same way, Nirguna Brahma Jnanam and Nirguna Brahma Upasanam. In that, Nirguna Brahma Upasanam definitely has a seeming cause-effect relationship. Even Nirguna Brahma Jnanam also, or let us say Nirguna Brahma Jnanam and Nirguna Brahma Upasanam has a cause-effect relationship. But seeming. Upasana leads to Jnanam. Never. No Jnanam is generated by meditation. Definitely not. Show me one piece of knowledge generated without operation of any means of knowledge, just by meditating a knowledge is generated. No. Yeah. To gain Jnanam, you should operate the means of knowledge, depending upon the nature of knowledge. If you want to see certain things, well, color, form, etc. of a thing, well, you have to operate a particular means of knowledge. A means of knowledge, a particular means of knowledge, generate a particular piece of knowledge, which is not available for other means of knowledge. Seeing and color, form, etc., well, definitely you have to use eyes. Therefore, Nirguna Brahma Upasana, in which you, in fact, all the means of knowledge you resolve. Meditation means you other all means of knowledge, senses, etc., you resolve. And in the mind also, well, you are constantly meditating upon that particular form or etc. Here it is just a Nirguna Brahma Upasana means what? I have already told you. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, which is a Brahma for you, but you keep repeating. Then how can it generate Nirguna Brahma Jnana? No. To gain a Nirguna Brahma Jnana, there is a Shravanam. in which, well, definitely you expose yourself to the teaching of the Shastra, that is the Pramana, etc. Therefore, here in meditation, definitely it is not going to produce Nirguna Brahma Jnana. Yeah. But as though there is a connection. Even you do this Nirguna Brahma Upasana, leads to Nirguna Brahma Jnana. Leads to. So you feel that is the cause, this is the effect. No, not at all. Upasana cannot be the cause of Jnana. Logically itself not possible, I have told you. So therefore, definitely this is a Sambhadi Brahma because it helps you to gain Jnanam, as though it has become a cause for the Nirguna Brahma Jnanam, while this Upasana helps you definitely to gain this Jnanam. Therefore, this is Sambhadi Brahma. Because you have no knowledge that I am Brahman. So, but still we say, you do this. We know that for you it is a Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. No, sorry, I don't take myself to be Brahman, etc. But who says? So commit an error. I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Yeah, for you it is not a knowledge. We know. Don't worry. But still do this meditation. Do avrutti. Aham Brahma, Aham Brahma, Aham Brahma. Well, that Brahma, error on your part, leads to knowledge. Leads to knowledge means what? Now same vritti, Aham Brahmasmi, which you have gained, of course it was a Jnana vritti, but you have not taken it as a Jnana vritti. You have taken it as a Jnana Abhasa vritti. But still you have done avrutti, meditation upasana, Nirguna Brahma upasana. Well, the obstacle, adrishta, has gone. And now the same vritti which was there, you have taken it as abhasa, you will take it as a Jnana vritti. So this is how the Sambhadi, it is a Sambhadi Brahma which is helping you. Now you say, I have Jnana, I know I am Brahman. Earlier also it was the same thing. Now no difference. But because of obstacle, you are not ready to take it as a Jnana vritti. Whenever we say you are Jnani, you said, Swamiji, don't, you should not do this kind of a thing. You are as though doing a mockery. It is not mockery. We are telling you, you are able to talk in front of 40 people. You talk, you are Sachidananda. And now you are saying, well, I am saying you are Sachidananda, so means you have Jnanam, that you are Brahman or you are Sachidananda. No. What is no? Imagine what a compassion Shastra has, what are the things available, that at whatever level you are, Shastra has all the techniques to address and make you free from obstacles and ultimately leads to knowledge and jnanam and moksha. So anyway, so this is some Sambhadi Brahma. But how does it happen, etc.? Well, the whole chapter will explain it. This how error leading to knowledge. That is the chapter actually. So Kakataliyatah Kakataliya Nyayena. It's a proverb. Ayatavastu Vijnanat Ipsitam Phalam Labhyate. So Kakataliyatah Ayatavastu Vijnanat Ipsitam Phalam Labhyate. Like in the case of a Kakataliya, well, Ayatavastu Vijnanat. Well, Yathavastu Vijnanam means that's the knowledge. Ayatavastu Vijnanat, because, well, we have seen the example where one thing is there which is not, which is quite different, and you look upon something else, you look upon that thing as something else. And how ipsitam phalam labhyate, how you will gain a desired result, we have seen. Same way here in this case also. So, this is called a Sambhadi Brahma. Soyam Sambhadi Brahma Uchyate. All such erroneous pieces of knowledge where there is apparent cause-effect relationship, well, but ultimately that effect turns out to be benefit. We'll call it as a accidentally benefit, out of ignorance, out of injunction of the Shastra, whatever it is. Well, we call this as a Sambhadi Brahma. Means he has explained both Sambhadi, Visambhadi, but for a Sambhadi Brahma, which is the topic here, he gave examples based on the perception, example based on his inference, example from the Shastra, and proved that there is something called Sambhadi Brahma, error leading to benefit. This is the thesis of chapter number 9. right? And so with this introduction of the Samvadi Brahma, with the verse 12, that introduction part is over. And now he comes to Darshananta. That is, now we are entering really into the field. This was all example. Now how this Samadhi Brahma, how Samadhi Brahma means Nirgun Brahma Upasana, yeah, right? Am Brahmasmi, Am Brahmasmi, Am Brahmasmi. Which, well, that's Upasana. How Nirgun Brahma Upasana exists, and how that Brahma Upasana, which Nirgun Brahma Upasana leads to Nirgun Brahma Jnana. What all this? When we really come to the field, we find something different. We'll see. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.